It started. That was like perfect timing. Ah. Hey.
Hello.
This is.
You kill me.
The Kasia and Eugene film review for Reprobates.
Herzlich willkommen.
Yeah.
I sing this.
I like. Get it close to the face.
Self-promotional.
Yeah, fuck yeah. All right. So
anyway,
we got the drinks.
We do.
We got the film. La 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 la. And
excuse me for not doing it on Sunday like we usually do, but I had to be a siren for several hours.
Well, you see, this is the level of celebrity here in this household. There was a fantastic, fantabulous show that she had done at the Great Northern in San Francisco. It was called Devour, and it was a vertical theater, which is what they call pole dancing in places that don't involve loads. It's theater, and it was great. It was sold out both shows, and we were way too fucking tired afterward. And I didn't do anything but sit there. But you got to realize I'm an inveterate pole husband. So it's tough. It's tough on me. It's like when my kids used to fight in the ring, and they'd come out of the ring, and I'd be sitting on the stool drinking the water, fanning myself with a towel. It's like,
he's very tired after I perform.
After she performs, I'm tired. So.
No, and so I had to use I forgot my eyelash glue, and I had to use somebody else's, and I had allergy, and then my face was swollen for the whole day. So I couldn't do it yesterday because that would be a horror. But today I'm all sauté, so enjoy it. This is how I look like for real. I have no face. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we are going to talk about a horror movie.
I think you do a horror.
Horror.
Yeah, and we're in the grips of this thing where we want to see every single vampire movie that there ever was made.
Yes.
And then we, in a weird way, we discovered that we had seen a lot of them. And we discovered this the hard way by watching this movie, and then halfway through we'd be like, oh, hey, Byzantium. We've seen this one before.
Yeah.
Which is that's like you can't really do that. You can't. What does it say about the quality? I mean, you don't see Citizen Kane and then think, I think I saw Citizen Kane. You saw Citizen Kane. So, but we now are down at the dregs. We watched even all the Twilights, right? And
not all the Twilights.
We broke down.
We probably stopped watching it at the third one. Yeah. She didn't have a baby yet.
Yeah.
Because there's a vampire baby.
Yeah, we were trying to wait for the vampire baby. We got weak. So if you've watched the vampire baby one of Twilight and it's worth watching, please, we're completists. We want to watch all of the vampire movies ever made.
It's a computer-generated vampire babies, FYI.
You know this for a fact?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I've watched the baby Twilight, but I've seen some.
How can they get a real baby?
I don't know.
It's turn it into a vampire. And I want to start a baby vampire rights organization.
Anyway, it looks like computer-generated.
Well, I'm getting political here. Stop all of my politics line. I'm advocacy. I want the representation for vampire babies. Anyway, we stumbled on this thing called
Years in the Nacht.
Somebody speaks multiple.
Yeah, it's a movie from 2010, and Years in the Nacht means we are the night, and it's a vampire movie about vampires. And I wouldn't call it a horror movie for a second, really. There was nothing horrific in it, outside of the fact that it was a vampire movie about vampires who get rid of male vampires from the vampire society.
Whoa. Let's step back a bit, because you said something compelling there. Do you consider vampire movies horror movies?
Not every vampire movie is a horror movie, I think.
Like which vampire movies are not horror movies?
Like, for example, Let the Right One In. It wasn't a horror movie, really.
I think so.
Was it a horror?
There were parts of it that were designed to be and were effectively scary.
Yeah, but I don't know. I wouldn't call it a horror just because there's a vampire. Sorry, I know that I pronounce horror like whore. I just can't help it.
No, it was more that I just got off a show where I was talking about whores for about 30
Uh-huh.
minutes, so I got in my head.
Well, anyway, it wasn't like a classical vampire movie. You know, it was just a great movie. Let the right one in. Or I probably would call horror movie the girl walks home alone at night.
Mhm.
That was pretty actually good horror movie. It was interesting in many ways, and I really enjoyed it.
I didn't want to get caught in the semantics, but it just
Me neither. But anyway,
yeah,
it wasn't. It was more entertaining to me than actually scary. So yeah. Anyway, they so in general, the only vampires that exist in this movie are women, and pretty much it's kind of like.
And this is not by accident; it's by design.
Yeah, they just got rid of all the male from their vampire society because they were making too much mess. It's very much like a scam manifesto from that Solanas made.
Valerie
wrote, yes.
Valerie Solanas, who shot.
I completely couldn't remember her name
who shot Andy Warhol.
Yeah, so she wrote a scam manifesto, and she was super into
Society for Cutting Up Men.
Yeah, exactly. So that was pretty much that in that movie. It was an interesting take on it. Of course, from my point of view, it was very disappointing because everything just fell apart at the end. At least for our heroes, for our characters that are playing in that movie. So the main vampire's name was, I have to see, Louise, and she was turning. So she was turned into vampire like ages ago, and at some point she was in love with her creator, who was a woman, and after she died, I don't remember how she died. She got burned probably in the sun, something like that. I don't know if she committed suicide or if she just, I don't remember. But anyway, she was looking for her for ages, and she was just like creating new vampires. She was finding them by their eyes.
Well, there was some undercurrent. I mean, what they were trying to play off of was the traditional Bram Stokerian Dracula, where there was a multi-generational kind of search for love, where she kept looking in the eyes of possible victims to see if, because the eyes are the pools of the soul, mirrors of the soul, if that person that she was in love with, or at least the quality of that person, you know, vampires live forever, go all over the world, but she might actually find that again, right? And that kicks it off because she, at the beginning of the movie, finds some kind of Run Lola Run-esque Berlin street urchin girl, which is not really a street urchin. She's got a nice apartment, and her mother is there, and so on. But
this is not a nice apartment, really.
Well, it's for a guy who used to live in a van. It seems like a pretty nice apartment.
I think her mother was a prophetess or something like that. I couldn't really. But she didn't give a shit about her. She didn't even know that she wasn't there. So that was the drama. Anyway, to me it was kind of interesting that apparently if you're a vampire and you live for so many years, how many times during your lifetime you can fall in love? Apparently many. I can't really imagine that, but she
can imagine that. I was at the ex I was making fun of. You were in love with me, and we broke up, and then you were in love with Hugh, and then you broke up, and then you were in love with Jim, and then you broke up. That's like 3 in a row. How many people get that in their whole lives?
Well, some people are lucky or unlucky that way.
Yeah. Maybe she was a vampire.
I don't think so.
What I saw, it's just like a momentary thing. It was like a long time.
Okay. Well, anyway. So the main character's name is Lena, or Lena. And she's pretty cool, actually. Like, I really like her face. I don't remember any of the cast members' name. I'm sorry.
It's become a movie archetype. So if you've seen Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, if you've seen Run Lola Run, kind of slightly butch, kind of streetwise, tough chick.
Yeah. So another one was outside of the rave girl. who was super annoying, and her name was Nora.
Mm-hmm.
She was probably very recent. She was probably created in the 90s. There was like another one whose name is Charlotte, and she used to be 1920s silent movie star.
But who also had
she was always cranky and sad.
But who had the misfortune or fortune, I guess, of being turned into a vampire while she had a husband and a daughter.
Yeah, she was very unhappy with the fact that she's a vampire.
Yeah.
And she was very open about it.
Yeah, and this is full of spoiler alert. So if you're hoping not to have the movie ruined, you could just go out, watch the movie, and then come back.
But then again, you're not gonna lose anything to that point, really. If you've heard what we just said, you're gonna go. It's not gonna be like a huge surprise to you, really. I guess. And there's also Tom the cop.
As far as I'm concerned, the weakest fucking, not because he's a cop, just because the casting was so transparent. It's like they're like, go out and get us a Ryan Gosling type.
German Ryan Gosling.
Insipid.
Yeah. Well. So I don't know. The interesting thing about that movie is that the word vampire wasn't mentioned once. There was no word vampire for that. They were calling it, or when you turned, or like some other different words for that, but there was a vampire, right? And they had they had this nightclub when they were pretty much picking their victims to eat because they were actually hunting. They were also drinking blood from a fancy little shot glasses.
Yeah, so presumably there were other vampires at this rave that they had set up.
Yeah, and all of them. Yeah,
a lot of these people they had culled from the Love Parade, right? Mm-hmm. So it tied into to Berlin, Berlin club culture, club kids, so normal, and they were very selective about their predatory thing. It wasn't like the vampire movie where the spigot's open, and I can't remember the name of it, and the fire sprinklers, and Blade, and all the blood comes out. It wasn't like that. They weren't just there to lure humans in. They were there to have a party, and humans who want to drink blood could drink blood. I don't know why they would, but the victims were chosen. The idea, I guess, is the difference between how you imagine women would wage war and men would wage war. Men have World War II. Women have different types of skirmishes. They don't have World War II, right? So it's like, it's a party. People were specifically chosen to be turned or not turned. They were drinking blood from glasses. It wasn't a murder fest.
Well, you can be turned only if you're a woman. So
correct. Yeah, right. So that's what they were looking for.
They were trying to not murder people.
Yeah.
Like kind of vampire vegetarians.
Yeah.
But
in that, the seeds of the movie's failure were sown, right? Very specifically, set and setting. Movies in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you've never been in Berlin, it's just a bit of local color. But if you have been in Berlin, there are a couple of things you're comfortable with. You're comfortable with the premise of an underground rave party.
Yeah,
easily comfortable. Yeah. What you're not so comfortable with are a high crime rate that kicks back 10, 12, 15, 20 corpses.
Doesn't happen in Berlin.
Nah. So it's not like you would have been able to avoid detection.
Yeah, because at some point they were sometimes just losing their marbles and just walking down the streets and murdering men mostly, and nobody was talking about it. I mean, at some point they actually the Tom the cop and his friend Lumer. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I have a note because I never remember anything. So at some point they kind of sent equivalent of a SWAT team to look for them because there were so many murders, and they were weird because people pretty much were just, they didn't have any blood inside. But
there were no blood spatters, there were no blood spills, they were drained of blood,
yes,
and they had marks on their necks.
Yes.
And yet nobody mentioned the word vampire.
And there was also like camera footage, and they could see like people act weird, but they could, because of course vampires are invisible on the camera, so they could see what was happening, but not really. Mm-hmm. Surprise.
So they got some Russian gangsters who were also pimps, who were being interrogated, who were caught on video, one who lived, and he was like, there were devil women there, and he goes, oh, you're crazy, you're on drugs. He goes, no, you're not on drugs. I mean, they would do fantasies steal my car? And Tom the cop goes, what do you mean? You know, you stole your car. Well, they stole my Lamborghini. And just that night, Lena had tried to scare him off by saying, look, you know, I've got a boyfriend. Do you think I could afford a car like this myself? And of course, she pulls off in a gray Lamborghini. So he starts to make a connection between, oh, I see. Maybe she's one of these devil women. She's mixed up into something dangerous. So this intrepid Ryan Gosling lookalike, yes, starts to follow.
Good-hearted, simple man with a little kink for good-looking ladies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's not that much happening in that movie. They're pretty much partying all the time. Outside of Charlotte, who's always cranky and she's smoking cigarettes. So
right.
So they can eat, which is fun. Like they can do everything that people can do outside of very much sitting on the sun. They have this little ritual that they're waiting every morning for the sun to rise, and they kind of getting a little burn, and then they're coming back to the engine.
It was a nice derivation, though,
yeah.
Right? I mean, in some of the ways that you would expect. It wasn't a constant bloodbath.
Mm-hmm.
They were feeding on turning people that they wanted to spend time with,
mm-hmm.
killing people who they didn't. And it was another interesting twist. The cranky woman saw her daughter die, right?
Yeah.
Because her daughter was now an old lady.
Yeah, so she went to the hospital.
And
like kind of
right.
That was goodbye to her because they were running. I think they were running to Moscow after they got like the cops actually got the what is it? They found out that this is them, so they had to run.
Mm-hmm.
So she went to say goodbye to her daughter, and the daughter died.
Well, her daughter was old.
She was like 90 years old.
90 years old. So, and she saw her. We both said, "Oh, it goes, mommy," because of course she, the woman appeared as the woman that she was when she disappeared. We were guessing. So,
yeah.
So that was an interesting touch. A completely not interesting touch. Dubbing.
Oh my god! Yeah, we had to fucking suffer through dubbing. Why would you do that? I would really like to see actually a movie with subtitles.
Tell them about lectors.
Yeah, like in Poland, there's of course like a lot of dub movies, but we also have lectors, which is like a guy pretty much speaking over English or whatever language you have in the movie. It's kind of interesting.
So it's like a vocal,
voice, yeah.
Voice subtitle.
Yeah.
But it's done live.
I've never been clear on this. It's not done live. It's recorded like when you have a movie. But yeah.
So it comes out of the speakers in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, usually in the movie theater you don't have speakers. In the movie, when you go into the movie theater, you have subtitles. The speakers are usually you call those guys speakers. They are usually in the TV.
Ah.
Yeah, it's not in the movie theater.
I got it. So on the TV, when there's a lector, there's just a voice track of somebody. Yeah. I got it. Okay.
So you have lectors on TV, and then you have subtitles or dubbing in the movie.
So if you're watching an American movie on TV in Poland, you hear the American voices from the American actors, and then simultaneous to that, you hear the lector speaking in Polish what they're saying in English.
Yes.
The same lector.
Yes.
So it's not like he's doing different voices. He's just telling you. Okay.
But they're usually good enough that you are not aware that they're doing that for like very quickly. Just not paying attention. But I'm a big fan of subtitles, so I don't understand why would you be dubbing. Yeah. It's just lazy.
Well, when we searched, I found the German language version, or review of the German title in German, leading me to believe that there might be a German language one that we could watch and then click for the English language subtitles. But we didn't do that.
No, you didn't do that. I wasn't aware that it was possible.
Well, I wasn't aware until I looked at this now. So anyway, okay. So now we're gonna do our rating. Unless you have more.
I'm looking at my. Oh yeah, there's the scene when Louise is trying to force Lena to tell her that she loves her.
Well, she realizes that she developed an attraction to Ryan Gosling, the cop.
Yeah, and it was kind of, I don't know, like. Okay, let's just
the aging lesbian trope was kind of tired.
Yeah, it was like a little bit like Hunger like when Catherine Deneuve was turning all her lovers to vampires, and then they were pretty much getting old at some point, and they were dying.
Which was never adequately explained in that movie either.
No, it was
how come she lives forever but they die?
I really love the Hunger, but it kind of falls apart at the end. But I could tell that Louise was kind of based on Catherine Deneuve's character. Not even like they were just kind of, maybe they were a lookalike, but it was some kind of likeness. I don't know. Anyway, let's just rate it and maybe we're gonna have something else.
Because I'm drunk now, so
yeah,
because I haven't had anything to eat.
I'm just dying.
And you made these drinks. So okay, so well, is there anything else you want to say about We Are the Night? Wir sind die Nacht.
No.
All right. Well, we're gonna do our separate magic. Come up with the numbers. Okay. Hold on, I can't count well. All right, ready?
You can count well.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. She felt more gracious than I did. But listen. 4 doesn't mean it's bad. I enjoyed this movie. If you were to see me in the street tomorrow and said, "Hey, that movie We Are the Night," I was like, "Oh yeah, it was pretty cool." But I'm basing it on a universe of 10. And I'm basing it on the quality of you know.
You're right. Probably 5 is a little bit too generous. I agree.
I mean, I like the premise. I like the locale. I like Berlin. Hated the dubbing. Didn't like Ryan Gosling.
I suppose that I gave like extra 1 for the Berlin because I actually miss Berlin a lot.
Yeah. Both of us. Yeah.
And I also like the kind of play with No Man's Society. But I think they really blew it. They could actually pull it. They could do actually like some kind of feminist manifesto out from this movie, and it could be really good.
Yep.
But because Dennis Gensel was a director of that movie, he probably wouldn't let it happen.
You know, I was in an industrial rave dance club in Berlin, right? Insel the Jugend, in this club in Insel the Jugend basement. Marble, stone, nothing to sit on, and completely fucking black. I don't mean it was painted black. I mean, there was no light. And the music is like, ding, 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 ding. It's like Rammstein. Ding, 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 ding. And no fucking lights. They take me, Rammstein. They take me down there. I'm standing there, ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, okay, well, fuck. I'm in a dance club. I'm going to dance. So I'm dancing. And then they hit the strobe lights. Everybody. It was me and 2 other dudes on the dance floor.
Oh, that's so sad. I just had this like naked. Yeah.
I would have been happy if everybody
you
was
were
naked.
in the wrong crowd.
Yeah, I was in the wrong club. So when I see their rave parties in We Are the Night, I'm very happy with that rave parties. But it was a good premise that I thought it should have been developed on. It's a 2010 movie. Don't understand why it wasn't, but it wasn't. But there are elements of this movie that I think anybody interested in trying to make a vampire movie that's horrific or horrorful should actually take and I mean, one of the things that makes vampires scary is that they that they choose to employ stealth. Like the werewolf just comes tearing shit up. But the vampires, they're kind of like Nazis in the monster world. They have to trick you. They trick you, you know.
They don't have to trick you. They want to trick you. They
want
to do anything. They just can like go and like hypnotize you, and they don't have to.
Right, that's true.
That's why Kat is playing with the mouse. Right.
Yeah, that video you sent me with the cat playing with the mouse, and the chicken was like had no patience, much like me.
There was a chicken
and just fucking ran in. The chicken fucking ate the mouse.
Chicken was a werewolf of that.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Anyway, so there you go. We Are the Night. It's on. We know for sure it's on iTunes because that's where we watched it. But it was probably on YouTube. Yeah, it was not for sure on Netflix.
Check on YouTube first, but yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't know.
Well, it has terrible poster.
The do not be put off by the fucking poster.
I'm gonna try to find it.
Because the poster,
I refused to watch it, but then
I had to do a lot of fast talking.
This is the poster. Like what the fuck? Who even let it happen?
Yeah, that's
why
you just shot your movie. There's a reason why we haven't heard of the movie, and the reason is that poster. That poster almost did it. Insatiable. Yeah. So it's like, come on, man. Everybody's trying to seduce me. Why is everybody trying to seduce me? I don't need it. Like every music video, you don't need people trying to seduce me.
Each time when you try to seduce you, I'm gonna have to kill you.
Yeah. So it's doesn't even make any sense. Just stop with it. Smoke. And you ever wonder why when anybody's trying to seduce you, it's always like this slow moving. What the fuck is that? What are you creeping me the fuck out? What are you doing? And with vampires, it makes sense. Right?
Show them the Dracula look.
No, I can't show.
You have to.
No, it doesn't work this way. It's not a tell, it's a show. And I can't show it here because it's remote. It'll seduce anybody.
This is not exactly Dracula.
It's not at all. It's just creepy. Anyway, that's the show. Sorry we were late, but there's no such thing as late when you're getting stuff for free. And next week we'll try to do it on Sunday.
Yeah, we will. I don't have any shows. I'm not going to be a siren for a while.
In the comments, which is good because you need the rest.
I have a carpal tunnel, and everything hurts, and I'm dying.
Yes, so she needs the rest. I'm the manager. Make sure she gets paid, and make sure she can continue to get paid. So
I got paid 3 times today.
Yeah,
good day.
Yeah. Oh, really? Good. It's an unkind word for what a guy is who makes sure she gets paid, but we won't use that word in relation to me. Well, people call it pimps, but I am not your pimp.
You're my husband.
Your husband. So anyway, that's the end of the show. If you have suggestions below, you can leave it for movies that you might want to watch. But we it's not so much that we lie, but it's just we say stuff that doesn't come true.
No, it's like there are better vampire movies than We Are the Night, but it just.
Well, we've seen almost all of them. So if you have a recommendation for a vampire movie that we haven't seen,
like we always,
you don't know what we've seen or not. But the one in Williamsburg with the guy, the Turkish guy, that was great. You know, modern day, that was very funny. We saw the other one.
Oh my God!
What We Do in Shadows.
What was the name of that movie?
I don't remember, the one with the Turkish guy.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
It was great. If the girl walks home alone at night.
We've seen that one.
Excellent.
You'd be hard pressed.
Let the Right One In.
You'd be hard pressed to find. We haven't seen the American version of Let the Right One In, but why bother? Did we see the American version?
We did both versions.
Okay, there you go. She remembers better than I do. So,
we are in the process of watching The Devil's Backbone. It's not a vampire movie.
Yeah, we're gonna finish it.
I enjoyed it so far, and I just found a Near Dark that we're supposed to watch. It's a vampire movie.
We've seen Near Dark.
Did we?
Yeah. Easily. We've seen it.
It was a kind of a Western thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna finish Devil's Backbone tonight. It's Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, we can talk about it if you want.
Maybe. Yeah. Anyway. That's the show. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. Go below and give us a thumbs up. No, I think that's the correct. And it's
subscribe.
And if you subscribe, subscriptions to the Eugene S. Robinson Showstopper, because that's just the network. But if you subscribe, then it'll let you know when we're doing these shows, so you don't have to just wait and hope that I tweet it out.
Yeah, and if you have any recommendations or you want us to talk about something specific, tell us.
Yep.
We love to hear it.
There you go. So until then.
Also, tell us what you think about We Are the Night.
Yeah, you should see it. I mean, but I'm doing this for our health. Do it, watch it, and then come back. In the spirit of debate, we'd like to do
we love to discuss with you.
Anyway, all right. I'm fucking drunk as fuck. All right, no, this is not good for my future job prospects. But
are you dry?
a little bit. I haven't had anything to eat. Okay, all right, bye.